What's up, guys? We are live. Oh my God, take two. You guys missed every bit of that. That was awesome. I came out with probably one of the best intros that you guys never did see. I'll tell you what, I came into this thing firing tonight. I was all like hooting and hollering, and every bit of it just got, I didn't click go live correctly. So I was on live on OBS only and not sharing it to you guys, so that was pretty funny. Shout out to Mark Pappas, Jeff, Kristen J, Robert Sharp, yo. I don't know who all's in here and who's not. I can't tell what's really going on right now. Like I said, I don't even know if I'm live or not, but we're gonna go into this whole thing, you guys. In case you guys didn't see the most recent video that went out, we're probably gonna get into that here in a little bit. We're definitely going to get into some things this evening, you guys. So if you guys are ready for this, we're going to take a little vote. I don't know if you guys can see me or hear me. I hope you can. If you can and you want to get into tonight's video, press 1. If you want to wait a little bit and you'd rather see the plan, that's right, the plan, let me know. And press 2 in the chat. So we're going to try to get the chat moving a little bit. I know there's probably not that many people in here, but I hope you guys are here anyway. So let's see. Oh, Rod's calling me a pirate. Rod wants to see the pirate video. Did I get another 30? No, Jeff, that was just the first ban. Robert Sharp says 2. He wants to get into the plan. I see a lot of 2s. I see a lot of people want to get into the plan and not the video so much, huh? All right, well, we'll get into the plan. So tonight's episode, the plan is, does size matter? Does size matter? Water clarity, weather conditions, water temperature, match the hatch, and my number 5 favorite, pressure. This doesn't feel consensual. That's the way the fish feels when you pull them out of the water, but that's okay. I don't really care. So you guys, are you guys excited? Because we have got some fun this evening. Okay, what we got going on this evening is we're going to talk about different size baits and how they relate to the area that you're fishing. All right, so where it gets interesting is we just went out this last Saturday. Buddy and I went out to Headwaters again, and unfortunately for us, the rain decided that it was going to just linger about to the point where it was too expensive to bring cameras out. You know, it cost too much money to bring cameras out at that point. So we decided to keep everything in the truck. So hold on, I'm going to get something to drink. What's that? My shirt? You like that, huh? Yeah, you can find that over at a place called heathensquad.com. You can find this shirt, this hat, these socks, and many other things like this over at heathensquad.com. Waiting on my tumbler. I got a few things in my cart. I'm really bad about not pulling my, I just don't pay for this stuff right off the bat. I leave stuff in the cart, and then I remember it, and then I come back and check the computer like days and days later. But do me a favor, go over to heathensquad.com and check out some cool gear. All right, guys, here we go. We're going to talk baits. You guys want to start with swim baits, hard body swim baits, or you guys want to start with the plastiques? So 1 for swim baits, 2 for plastiques, guys. Go. right, looks like we're split right down the middle. We got a 1 and a 2. Oh, we got another 1 and we got a half. Okay, so we got a 1 and we got 2s. We're gonna go ahead. We'll start with the big baits. All right, right off the bat, we're gonna start with the big baits. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pick these. I picked just certain baits, just for you guys, just to have a good conversation. Okay, I picked certain baits that are gonna apply to every one of the plan. All right, and we're going to discuss how each one of them applies to each one of the plan. And that's what's really important. All right, guys, some of this I'm going to have to turn the music way down because you guys have to hear what these baits do, because there's different sounds that are going to occur with every one of these baits. And each different bait sound has a different effect on fish for their triggering. I know, sounds crazy. I didn't believe it either. Still, until I started learning about it. You know what I mean? When I started really focusing on it, it became something that I appealed to. It was in my thought process for the areas that I was fishing, or where I thought fish would be. Because don't forget, it's always a grind. You know what I mean? I don't care who you are, dude. If it's a grind, it's a straight grind. So here's where we're going to get started. That is shiny. That is super duper bright, super duper shiny. It's got the chartreuse on the front. It's got a nice silver bottom, suspending maybe a foot under, sometimes less. You know, you got a little crown, little bridge that occurs on the top there. Now let's apply this bait to what water conditions we're actually going to be able to fish this bait. Number 1, water clarity. Okay, water clarity or color. Color. This is very important that we talk about this, because the 3 different types of water that you're going to run into is going to be a dark stain, it's going to be a clear, or it's going to be a tannic. Okay, tannic is the brown tinge, nasty. Your clear is clear. Those of us that fish South Florida or any of these hydrilla lakes or filtration, bottom feeding plants, life lakes, we tend to have a clear, very clear water, as opposed to where I live here at Harris, where it's just chocolate milk. It's chocolate milk 24/7. There ain't nothing you can do about it. The lake just moves that much. You know, there's that much momentum in the lake, and there's always something going on in it. So that's where, you know, the different colors come in. So water clarity affects it first off. If your water's really, really clear, all right, would this bait be something that you would throw? 1, if you'll throw it just because, or 2, no, I wouldn't pick something with that much color and that much flash. So 1's in the chat if you're going to throw it just because you're going to throw it, and 2 in the chat if you are going to pass. I agree with you, Rod. Bass are nice and territorial. Yes, they are, but we're going to discuss that tonight. Robert's throwing it. Kristen's blowing it. Rod is got it too. Rod's going to pass on it. Let's see what's going on here. Jeff's passing. Minnie's passing. All right, guys, here we go. Let's get into this. I'm passing on this, and I'm going to tell you why. With the water being really, really super clear, this thing does not look at all el natural. As a matter of fact, it does look kind of terrifying. It looks like it would kind of scare the fish to death. But unfortunately, I'm still a number 1. I'm going to throw it anyway because I'm just persistent like that, and I just will not give up. I will throw this thing until I catch a fish on it, or it's never going to get... I don't want to talk about it. I flip, dude. I get really bad about baits, but we're going to get into that as the night goes on. So I might pass on that, only because it does not look as el natural. Crystal clear water could possibly spook fish. Absolutely. If you're in a place with like peacocks, maybe, okay, totally different. But this is definitely a replica bluegill bait. Next, weather conditions, sound. Let's see what we got here, guys. You ready? Let's kill the music for a second. That is not the hooks. That sounds like multiple smaller BBs. Dinks will hit it. Dinks always hit it, Rob. That's what I'm talking about, bud. Rob, we're actually going to bring that into tonight's topic of conversation. Dinks will hit it. I'm going to tell you why. So you heard multiple knockers there. I wouldn't really call them knockers. It had more of a ching to it. You guys heard that, like kind of a high-pitched ching. That's more of the rattle trap. That's an open water rattle. Okay? So when I refer to open water rattle, think small BBs, high-pitched. And when I say knockers, think one big knock, 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 knock. cluck, 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 cluck. You know, wait a minute, that was on video. You guys don't clip that. That was terrible. Little joke there for you guys. All right, here we go. Number 3, water temperature. Okay, this thing's going to move depending on how fast you reel it, and then each different way you reel it is going to bring a different retrieve. So, no, I'm still not throwing that. And match the hatch. Guys, this look like anything you see down there? Color pattern, no. Size, maybe. So that's pretty close. And then pressure. How many people you think are going to throw something like this out on the lake the day you're out there in the place that you're out there? That's the pressure I'm talking about. I'm talking about how many people are fishing the area. What are they throwing? Are they making a lot of noise? Are they coming in silent? Are they spooking? Are they flipping? Are they pitching? Their techniques. What do you see guys throwing? If you see guys throwing on, 70-yard chatterbait tosses out there and they're searching, and you can see that trolling motor's doing like 70 to 90, bro, don't throw nothing with no noise. So first bait of the night, activity. What would I throw it on? Okay, here's what I would throw it on. I'm going to throw this in some nasty non-sea water. I'm talking visibility less than a foot. I'm going to throw something like this, visibility less than a foot, open water on the side of maybe some reed beds or an in-between a drill a mat line, and I'm going to come back kind of slow with the occasional quick reels. That's where I would throw this, okay? Hey, Rachel, I'll give you a small lure for me. No, Rachel, we'll discuss that here in a little bit, Sunshine. We're going to go ahead and these guys wanted to get into the show real quick, and then we'll get into the fun stuff when that's over. Let's get some more music, though. Lure number 2, boys and girls. That was pretty neat, huh? This thing's fantastic, guys. All right, here we go. Let's hit this up. You guys ready for this? Let's see who's throwing it. Who is throwing this bad boy right here in tannic water? 1, if you're throwing it in the tannic brown water. 2, if you're passing. All right, we got a couple of people in there that say, okay, so far the girls are saying 2. Robert Sharp is with the girls on this one. Jeff didn't see it. All right, Jeff, 2 seconds. You ready? We're going to go back. We'll do it again for those of you that missed it. That was actually a perfect representation, guys, of what this bait would look like in tannic water. Given the color scheme that I've got going on right now as far as what's around me and the actual depth of the picture that you guys can actually see, that's what's going to appear to the bass. So, yes, if you said 1, you are going to smash on this bad boy. And these baits here, guys, these were all provided by Jack All via My Pocket. I purchased every one of these. You understand what I'm saying? I do not have a sponsorship. That's why when somebody said, who makes that? I was like, somebody that don't pay me. But that's okay, because it's pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? And I'll sling these things. Now, here we go. Again, we're back to size, because that's what this whole thing rolls around to, guys. So let's get at it. You ready for this? Comparison time. We got a 4 and we got a 5-inch. That's what we got. So the 5-inch bait, we're back to match the hatch, but this is more of a true bluegill in the tannic water situation. So little heads up there for you guys. If you are fishing that, look for the matte colors. You're going to do yourself a lot more good than you are with that flashy stuff. And honestly, unless you hit like a patch of clear, Rapala's not going to do you any, good. All right, let's see. Got the BBSs on it. Yes, got the BBSs on it, and it's got the flutter feathers. Oh man, I felt so bad the other day. I fished mine for the first time. You guys want to hear the story first? You guys want to hear a quick story? One for a story. Go. right, consensus is in. Story time. All right, so Saturday, like I said, killer fishing day. Absolutely worst day to film. Absolutely worst day to just. It was just, you know what I'm saying? Buddy had all that stuff going on at his house with his internet and everything else from Friday night. And then he went live like god awful late. And I felt for him. You know what I'm saying? I really did. And then dude got up and was game on in the morning. You know what I'm saying? And he looked at me in the truck and said, yeah, so you got any room for my big camera in case it rains? And I looked right at him and I said, buddy, I didn't bring any gear. Straight up. I didn't bring my tackle box. I brought a little bag. Here, I'll show you. I brought my little fishing man purse. That was it, you guys. And you guys know me, like, I'm down to throw. You know what I'm saying? I want to get it. I want to throw all kinds of stuff, but not this time. Back to my prearranged spot on the floor. You guys, this is so not easy to do. The anticipation of going live tonight with a scheduled live. I hit the button right at 7:15. I did 2.5 epic minutes of the best intro. I was so motivated. I was ready to go. I was like, yeah, and you guys, tonight we're going to do this. We're going to do that. And then I realized that I couldn't see my stream on playback. And then you guys started the stream with me like staring at the computer like in a total why did I make this decision with my life moment. And that was the best part about it, because we're doing it live. All right, let's get back to this. So that was the story. Like I said, we got there. It was just you understand? Just let it go. Just give yourself a minute. That's right, gentlemen. Don't forget, these ladies work for tips. All right, here we go. You guys ready for this? Let's get back to it. Let's go with bait number 3. Guys, this right here is that get you bit. Triple segment, 6.5 inches, 2.48 ounces, I think this is. The Gandrel. That's another jackall. Now I'm going to tell you what's so important about this, guys. And this is what I was getting at with the whole story today, is that, basically where we're at, where we were fishing in South Florida, and I don't want to tell people this, but I want to tell you guys. So being that, like, nobody watches my channel, this is going to be the best kept secret in the world. So check this out, you guys. So y'all know how I roll. You know what I'm saying? If it's got a lip, I'm going to rip it. You know, it doesn't matter. It can be 10 pounds. It can be 4.5 ounces. You understand? If I can get a hook on it, I'm going to get you. You feel me, player? I'm going to get you. I pulled easy. I pulled 10 fish of this size. And I still had this thing in the box inside of my bag. And I didn't pull it. And I'll tell you why I didn't pull it. On like the 5th cast with that other one, that one that was like just like this, but it was 1.5 inches smaller, I hit on like the 5th cast, dude. And it was 3.5 pounds. And I was super excited, and it actually worked. And that was a Gandrel Jr., for those of you that are looking to know what these are. And I'll link them all in the description down below, as with all my other videos. No, not really. One day, though, you understand, one of these days they're going to hook me up, and we're going to all talk about doing a little partnership. But till then, no links, guys, no links. But if I can tell you, if you are fishing in South Florida right now, anywhere that Roland Martin has been known to go fishing, that you get it right there, boys and girls. So let's get the big board and see where this is at. Water clarity and color. Okay, we did enough tests for now. Dink Slayer says rod. Nice man bag. It is, Rod. It's my man purse. You guys made fun of me because I got a tackle box on wheels. So I brought just the purse. You understand what I'm saying? It's no big deal. Water clarity that particular day, guys. Clear down 6, 7, 8, 9 feet. You can see the bottom. Weather conditions, as far as sound, we had like 15 to 25 mile an hour gusts coming out of the northeast, so it was really rough. Let's get into the sound of the bait though, because this is what I think is going to be, would have been the kicker right here. You guys ready for this? It's got that little bit of rattle to it. Got that little bit of rattle to it. Now, again, with that lighter rattle like that, with that multiple, 3, 4, 5 larger BBs, you're going to be fishing right on those edges of those grass lines, edge of those reed walls, edge of those pads, looking at parallel casting and things like that. So there is some sound to it. Depends on what's going on in your area as far as pressure. Water temperature, not really going to affect it because that's all in your retrieve. You know what I mean? We were between 64 and 70 the other day on that trip last Saturday, so that was pretty impressive. Match the hatch, buddy. If that place has got as many bass as I think they got in it, they're eating bass. That's what they're eating, and I should have picked that thing up, man, but it was my first day ever throwing a swim bait, and I got this really cool bluegill looking one. Not the same one Buddy's got, but a different one, and that thing hit on it. And then pressure, like I said, I didn't see nothing like that. I think we were good the other day in that area. I didn't have to go quiet. But that's what the whole next series is about. So hold on one second, guys. Let's get some more tunes back on. You ready? All right, now it is video time because it's very important that we talk about this when we get into the soft plastics, because I got a little something for you guys right here. You guys ready? Let's go. I'll have that on my video. Y'all see Buddy's cast, right? You see where Buddy's little circle is? I know y'all see it. I'm a Photoshop me over your face. My face over yours right there. You guys see where I'm targeting, right? That back flat back there. I would put the cursor on it. Do I really need to put the cursor on it though? You guys can see it. That back flat over there, we're looking for points, you understand? Because that pocket on my left-hand side is cut off, I can't really do too much with that pocket. I'm all reaching, like you guys can even see what I'm talking about. But this pocket on my left-hand side right here, I can't reach at all, okay? So I'm looking at this point here, and I'm looking at this point here on my way back. Now, Buddy just cast right up in this pocket right here. And I want you guys to really focus on that pocket. This is my favorite.
And it's going to be bad, too, because you know my Photoshop. It's bad.
All right, who's going to call it? Who's going to call it? Who's going to call what that was? Anybody in the chat right now, what are you going to call that? You going to call that big turtle dink? What do you guys think was in there? Let's see for a second. Let's get some music, and then we'll get you guys to decide. Turtle. Jeff, it's... Being that it only hit Buddy's tail on his worm again, you know what I'm saying? I got a pretty good feeling that that's not really what we think it was. I'm going to go with probably dink. I'm going to go with dink. But I want you guys to watch something really, really closely, because though this is the best. I took the time to do this, and it really made me laugh. The timer. The timer begins. What's an appropriate time to wait? What's an appropriate time to wait? I'm asking you guys, as my fellow fishermen in the room right now, what's an appropriate time to wait for your buddy to get back in there? Technically, in his spot. Oh, here it goes. Here it. You guys still see his spot right there. It's right underneath my 8, right? I couldn't put an arrow in there, but that's his spot. That's where he just cast. That's where he just got that fish.
Goes. Now I get to sit the rest of the trip with, whoa, look at me, I killed it today. Yep. Let's start up my fish game here. I got some things I'm going to change up.
Was that an appropriate time to wait? Was that an appropriate amount of time to wait? 1 in the chat for yes, 2 in the chat for no. You're going to see the ripples. There's his spot. You can actually see there's something there. I'm going to show it to you right here. You can actually see that might be something there the way the wind's coming in, but you're going to see I cast it all the way up here, and you can see that green line going all the way around there. It's right there. All right, let's get it.
What's that?
Unfortunately, I can't show you any more of it because I had to go frame by frame to that moment so you guys could see that spot on the picture.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I told you, sometimes it's just about the size of the bait, buddy.
There it is. Sometimes it's just about the size of the bait.
Got him.
You got my fish.
No.
Right in the same area I went, dude.
That ain't your fish. Your fish was bigger than that by far, dude.
Dude, that's the bite I just had, bro.
What?
You pirate.
Are you really gonna say that?
Dog.
Are you really?
Exactly where I just got that bite. Pirate.
No, I'm pirating.
Brutal. Brutal, you guys. Absolutely brutal. Sorry, I'm all talking to myself and stuff because I was just... that was that was the 30-day ban trip, you guys. So this video is coming out. It's still got the 30-day ban trip on there. Okay, Jeff, here we go. Let's see. All right. You're fishing tall off the boat, the drift. Yeah, see, you see it. Rod sees it. Robert Sharp, he agrees. Rod says I'm right. Minnie says I'm right. Yes, if you didn't recast in the spot, then it's up for grabs. I mean, if the boat floated by it, right? Yes, I don't see that as pirating, but that wasn't the exact same spot. Let's see. Jeff says straight pirate. Jeff flagged me. There's been a flag on the play. Was his name on that fish? See, Rod, and this is what I was thinking. You know, when he said that was the bite he just had, I was thinking if there was only one fish in this lake, you know, but the one that bit his was too small to set the hook, but the one that bit mine was plenty big enough to take a hook. You know what I mean? And that's where the next part of this episode comes in. Does size matter? So let's cue some music and we'll get into this. You gotta give me a second, guys. I'm setting up. Oh my god. Mark's here. What's up, Mark? Get an eye patch. You guys are terrible. Get an eye patch next time I go. You. No, I'm just kidding. 4.5 to 5-inch, and we're going to talk about all the way up to 6-inch biggies. We're gonna go all the way up, guys. So here we go. Let me get into some of this stuff in a good place. I had this whole idea for a setup tonight, and it just went right out the window when the panic set in earlier. So that was kind of funny. You guys weren't there for that. I was. One more second. Let me take this stuff out, guys. I really wanted to have all this stuff done already, and that was my plan, but that fell, like I said, that fell pretty short, pretty quick. All right, let's get into this, you guys. All right, first thing we're going to talk about is I got to make sure I wipe my hands off, because unfortunately every one of these products, although made in America, comes with a California Proposition 65, so more than likely it gives you cancer or reproductive harm. So I just have to make sure I put out the disclaimer. So none of you guys do this and then go potty, okay? And if you do, wash your hands before you go potty. Let's just take the tip. Just take it as a tip. All right, guys, here we go. Are we ready for this? Let's talk about hook size. Hook size is mucho importante for those of you that habla español, okay? So here we go. Big hooks, big hook sets, a lot of broken baits. You're going to notice that. You're going to notice that hookup percentages based on hook size is one of the most important things that you can start to contemplate when it comes to hooking up with fish in your area. That's one of the reasons that when I go soft plastic, I am like 100% a Ned head. Like I am super, super, super stupid Ned head. You know what I mean? Like you can't stop me. And unfortunately, down here in South Florida, that's not the easiest way to do it. That is definitely not the easiest way to do it. You get a lot of hang-ups. You're gonna get caught on some stuff. You're gonna get broken up on stuff. And your typical Ned, your standard Ned, what I call a standard Ned, looks a little something like this. And you guys notice right here on the back side right here, there's like a piece of wire. There you go. You can see it right there. All right. That piece of wire is a soldered on what they call keeper. All right. We're going to go through some different riggings for these types of things here in just a second. But what's more important is let's get back to the does size matter. Let's get back to this bad boy here. Okay. Let's talk about water clarity, because that's going to determine the color baits that we use. Remember, we went over all those with the hard plastics and the hard baits. Weather conditions, sound, whether or not you need sound, you know, because if the wind's gusting, you're definitely going to want to have some type of vibration or sound to attract fish at a distance. If you're going silent and heavy gusting, you're fishing directly into cover, and that's what this part of the show is going to be talking about, is throwing directly into cover to the base of lilies, to the base of, you know, any type of vegetation or structure, and bringing fish up out of there just by being invasive with your type of bait selection and your type of action that you're using. Temperature, again, worm, you know what I mean? If you're getting anything below 70 and your fish are sitting real lethargic towards, you know, the base or the bottom toward the warmer water, Neds are going to be a game on. Neds are definitely going to be a game on. Match the hatch. There we go. This is where we get into our bait size and pressure. Like, again, how many people are throwing what? Because you want to be the guy throwing something different and not working with the same cadence. If you see they're not hooking up, don't be that guy. So when we talk about match the hatch, this is where these little baits come in. 4-inch. Tiny, teeny tiny. 5-inch. Kind of a segmented tail there, almost like a rattlesnake. And then your standard Gary Yamamoto style 5-inch stick bait. Wipe my hands. And now we're going to get into why you would fish these three different things and what this stuff has anything to do with Ned rigging, because the origination of the Ned is the weight attached directly to the hook in an J-shaped hook with an actual 45-degree bend at the top, and the weight's mounted to it. Okay, that's what that. Anytime you're referring to this particular style hook, that automatically screams Ned. All right, take that. Thank you. Okay, so let's talk about the different hooks and the different hook styles. Right now, guys, down in the South, and a lot of you guys know this, smallmouth up north, you want to keep your hooks really, really small, because if you're coming in there with, like, let's just say a 3/0, like this big bad boy right here. I think this is actually a 4 or a 5. I'm not quite sure. Hold on, I'll check it. Yeah, I think this is a 4. Yeah, this is a big 4/0 hook. I mean, if you're coming with this in smallmouth, you're never going to catch a single fish, and that's just the reality of it, because those fish don't react well to some hooks that big, and their mouths don't take that much room, you know. But down here in the South, you can get away with something like that. But it's all in the pairing at that point, because if you're going to take this big hook right here and you're going to hook it on something small like this, I mean, that doesn't look effective at all. I mean, that just looks like a big old hook sticking out of the side of a worm. You know what I mean? If you fish Florida, that's going to rough your... A lot of you guys might know, if you fish anywhere, that's going to make for an interesting day. Unless you're fishing like the West Coast, or you're fishing like Glacier Lake, where you're just contending with basically rocks and not as much vegetation as we deal with down here in Florida. That's perfectly acceptable. But for me, I am like loving, absolutely digging the EWGs. The EWGs with this little chin lock right here. This thing right here is nasty, and I like 10th ounce. The big ones, they come in like 5th ounce. What is it? 10th? Not 10th. I think it's like 5th ounce, 8th ounce, 5th ounce, half ounce. Yeah, it gets crazy. You know what I mean? Like, they come real big. But anyway, it's all the basic same hook size. The only thing that changes is the size of the weight that's attached to the head. So the reason I stick with these chin locks down here, and this is probably my favorite combination of bait all together, is the Fatty Z and the Ned Lock EWG. So we're gonna go, guys, we'll do this one time together just so you guys get an idea of what I'm talking about. Which one do you want to do first? Do you want to do the standard big hook, big gap, you know, wire keeper on the back, or do you want to do the chin lock with the little nub? Because I can show you how to do both of them. They're both actually really simple. You can Texas rig them both, but what I want to show you is the difference in using the EWG style as opposed to the straight shank worm Ned style. So, you know, you guys, one, if you want to see who cares, and two, if you got a specific one. Rod says, distress sound brings them out. My hook seems so basic. Yeah, you guys are like me. Let's just get into it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Rod, tackle has evolved. And yes, also, Rod, it's like crack to the dinks. Yes, distress sounds are like cracks to the dinks. But that's another hack that I'm going to show you guys in here in just a minute. But nonetheless, let's get into one of my favorites. And let's rig this bad boy up on my favorite bait so we can actually see what I'm doing in real time. You guys ready for this? You see this area right here? Okay, let's get this in the middle. Get me out of there, please. All right, hold on. All right, you guys see that hook right there? You guys see that bend in that hook right there to where that elbow corner starts? All right, that's how much penetration I'm going to actually get through the worm. Now, what I want to show you guys is there's a beautiful round side here, right? But as I come around, you see where it gets flat? See that flat side right there that's got like this channel, the center channel right here that I can open up? Okay, so I'm going to apply the hook side to the open channel side. And I'm going to pierce that just down to that bend, that first bend right there. You guys see that? Pretty cool, right? That's where I'm just going to fold out. Now I'm going to make sure I'm centered in the middle of that bait, because if I don't come out centered of that bait, my bait's not going to fall correctly. It's not going to fall down and flutter. It's going to spin, and worms don't spin. Fish spin, but worms don't spin. Not this type of worm, not when you're Ned rigging. Okay, now that I've got it up like that, you guys, I'm going to twist it. See how I'm twisting, physically twisting the bait? And I'm going to pull it up, okay? Now, when I pull it up, it just flipped up over that keeper. That is now done. I'm going to turn the hook over, like you guys see right here. I'm going to give it a bend in. A lot of you guys are going to say, well, your straight worm gets your fish. Now, I agree. You understand what I'm saying? But this is the catch. I'm going to go down to that fatty sack. You see the fatty sack right there, you guys? There's fatty sack. Okay. Go down to that fatty sack, and I'm going to pull right straight through, staying, again, in the middle of the bait. That's so vital important. And I'm going to give the full presentation. All right? See my hook's exposed? Nothing special about that, right? I'm going to come back to where my meat point is. I'm going to pull that little bit of bend that we originally had out, and I'm going to fold that worm over. You guys ready? Perfectly straight and loaded. See a little hump right there? That little hump right there contains my hook. And the minute that little hump gets touched, that hook is out, boys and girls. It is an instant prick. Now, what's interesting is I can do this and punch on it all day long. And as long as I hit this little flex, like a stick or a rock or some type of obstruction, nothing occurs. But when this thing comes, these are neutrally buoyant. See, I love my Z-Man because it's all about science. So anyway, this thing actually presents something similar to this when it sits on the bottom. It actually sits vertically. The bait floats vertically. And this little tip up here will actually just wiggle around above the bait. So it gives this kind of presentation, which is kind of interesting because when something's looking down and then you see this little thing wiggling up and then you see it pop up out of the water a few times and then you see it try to escape and then it falls back down, that's when it usually gets struck. So again, that is presentation 101 for what you're looking at when you're getting into your Ned rigs. Size, that's all determinant on what the fish are looking for. People say big baits equals big bass. Well, I don't really agree with that. I think being around that big bass and doing something that gets that big bass to react is just simply luck. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of skill involved with finding the spot, but after that, I really have this concept of fish just sitting in the water and watching everything that we're doing. You know, literally, there's maybe 4 or 5 of them just hanging out with their eyes up, just watching, you know. And if they see something that quote unquote triggers them, then great. But if not, I mean, there's no telling what really causes it. I've never been a fish. I know they do a lot of research into fish and stuff like that, but I don't know. Biology's biology. I'll tell you, if it's hungry, it's going to eat. You know what I'm saying? Give me a second, guys. We are back. Okay. Again, similar rigging style with the other ones. We'll go ahead and we'll pull this one off here. I just like using the Fatty Z because I don't know, something about it, man. This thing just, it's so weird, and to me it gives a totally different presentation. I mean, let's look at it. Look at the girth via like your standard Gary Yamamoto 5-inch stick bait, and then look at the difference in this thing. What do you guys think? Can you see the difference? The profile is different on one side. You might not be able to see it. The flat side's a little bit different. It gives a different fall presentation. The stick bait tends to be like more of like a flutter. It's called an undulation, ladies. Just so you know, if you see the worm undulating, it's fitting to get bit. That's just so you guys know. Let's go with one of these bigger hooks. You guys ready for this? All right. It's just a little 2-aught. And it's just got the straight shank with the barb keeper. So we're going to do the same thing we just did there, guys. Except for our distance is now changed. See that distance? It's now longer by almost 1/4 of an inch. So we got to make sure that when we do our entry, we come in not straight, because remember, we're going to Texas rig this. If we go in straight, that hook's going to be out like this, and it's just going to be exposed, and that's not going to do us any good. That's not going to do us any good here in Florida. So we're going to come in at an angle. We're going to come in at an angle. And we're going to penetrate at an angle that same amount that was the distance from the hook to the barb. Now we have to fill this much material, okay? I don't think I got that. I don't think I got enough material on there to fill that hook keeper. I'm sorry, that soldered on wire keeper. So we're going to come out a little bit further. We're going to come down a little bit more. Same angle. We're still going to come out in the middle of the bait, guys. That's the key. Coming out in the middle of the bait. We're going to pull it up over that keeper, and we're going to spin the hook. Okay? Now that wire is caught up inside the back of that thing. That wire soldered on wire keeper that you guys saw. I'm going to do the same flip. I'm going to go to that center channel. There's that center open channel. I'm going to push down a little bit higher. I'm going to come through. And then I'm going to come back and up. Again. Egg sack. Straight presentation. Jingle, jingle, jingle. Straight shank hook. Not an EWG style, extra wide gap, but a standard gap or shank, standard shank Ned worm hook. So either way, you guys, you can do both of those. They're both fairly awesome techniques. As far as this one goes, straight shank, stick with the rocks. Stick with the rocks for sure. As far as the EWG, you can play with that down in the South. I do it all the time. It's not really that big of a deal. It's not what you think it is. It doesn't get as stuck up. You just don't come through with heavy heavy braid line. These are all finesse techniques, guys. I prefer, if you are going to go with braid, 20 pound if you're fishing heavy cover, 10 pound if you're fishing more of a finesse. Now that's 10 pound braid, so you're talking, I just 2 pound diameter and 6 pound diameter, as far as if you were to go to a fluorocarbon diameter equivalent. You know, so that'll give you guys an idea of the size that I'm talking about as far as when I say finesse. All right, let's do some music for a second. All right, guys. Now that is done, we went over a lot of different stuff. We went over the different techniques that or things that are going through the thoughts that are going through my head. Now let's apply worms real quick to the Does Size Matter chart, and then we'll get into the chat. We'll hang out for a few minutes, and we will call it a night. We'll answer some questions. If you guys got a few questions about some of the things that I covered tonight, like braided line, line size, again, all factors that play in with the big matrix here, or what I like to call the plan. Water clarity and color. I prefer to throw 2 colors. The first color is watermelon red. That's green pumpkin with watermelon red flake. And my other favorite one is watermelon red. That's green pumpkin with red flake. So if you're not throwing one of those 2 colors, you're probably not catching fish. Not where I fish, I can tell you that. Because like the bubblegum floater worms and all that other stuff, you just look funny with a pink worm where I roll. You know, I don't know. Maybe if it's that successful, I might just put one in my tackle bag, my man purse. So water clarity doesn't really matter when you're working finesse small baits. Be honest with you, they're gonna feel it. They're gonna see it. It's gonna do something. It's gonna bump off something. That's why I like that head. So if it does bump off a little piece of structure down there, a rock, it'll chink off a rock. It'll thud off of a stick. So sound natural. Weather conditions as far as sound goes, not really gonna need to make much of a noise. But as far as open fishing it, here's where it gets interesting. Let's do this first. Water temperature. Usually your cooler water temperatures, if you're coming into warmer waters, 75, 80, 85 degrees, they're going to be hunkered down under shade. You're going to be using a slower presentation bait like a worm anyway. So these are all things that we'll talk about. Wacky rig is going to be the beast when it comes to that. Match the hatch. That's where the size comes in. Okay, so yes, big worms bring big fish, but they also bring a lot of dinks that eat tails, and they also, you know, you're going to miss a lot of hook sets because you're coming at it with bigger tackle when it was really more of a moderate tackle attack is where we should have been at. And pressure, silent. Things are silent, man. I love nothing more than pulling fish in front of guys that are like really out there throwing, and it's just not going nowhere. And meanwhile, I done bent up rods like 5, 6, 7 times. So a little lesson there, you know what I mean, as far as what you're actually looking to do and what you're going to accomplish, as opposed to, are you playing the law of averages? You know, and that's one of the things that we talk about when you guys, you know, Buddy and I go back and forth on the law of averages, you know what I mean? And if I can catch 60 fish, 5 of them are going to be decent. It's just, it has to happen. You know what I mean? One of them might even be a giant, but I'm going to shake off a lot of dinks. That's just the way I roll. You know, it's just the way I roll. All right, let's see who all's in here tonight. Rod said undulate. Some of this stuff's kind of old. Let me see what time it is. 8:09. Let's get in here. All right, 8:06. Braid line is awesome in the oyster beds. Yes, it will save you as far as, you know, pulling out some oysters. God, I can only imagine. We run 30 and 40 pound braid all the time. Yeah, small water, you guys rock heavy because we were just talking about thick grass. Yep. And headwaters was packed. Yeah, President's Day, bud. If you were down there yesterday, you were definitely in for it. That place Saturday was just deep, something like 149 boats. It was crazy. You guys want to talk about big fish, little lures? You know what? Let's do this. All right, now that the show's over, all right, we went to the board. Yeah, we had a good time. You guys, thank you so much. Appreciate you coming out. You know what I'm saying? Now let's get into just hanging out. All right, now that's all done. All right, let's do this. I'm going to pull some stuff up on the computer if you guys are down. One in the chat if you want me to pull something up and show you what little baits do. Because I'll do it. I'll go to my YouTubes right now, and I'll pull up my little bait videos for y'all. Here we go. Yeah, let's see little baits. Let's have this conversation about little baits, because I mean, we have these things quite often. Let's go in from my side. Let's go in from the YouTube side. Hold on, guys. Gotta make sure I close down the right app, the right Creator Studio here. We're gonna be in a world of hurt when I close down this stream. Yeah, straight rookie. I'm still here, guys. Hold on. It's not me. It's YouTube. Give it a second. I'm just waiting on everything to move on their end so I can show you guys this video. All right. You guys ready? Some of you guys have seen this. Some of you guys haven't. So we're going to go ahead and get into this right now. Hold on. I got to hit this button. I got to hit this button.
So I've got my essay written, and I've been working on it for about a week. So now I'm going to show you how I use Grammarly.
You guys are going to absolutely love this. This is my favoriteest thing in the whole wide world because, as you guys know, I am not monetized, okay? I am struggling to get views. I got videos that are blow up 2 years later, you know what I mean? Like, and then I never even put an end screen on it because I'm just not a YouTuber, you know what I mean? I haven't figured all this out, but right off the rip, man, let me show you guys something. Look at this. That's an ad. That is an ad on my non-monetized channel. We like to call that tax. Oh, this is horrible. Hold on, you guys.
Yeah, you got tank on him, dog. This is big.
That is not at all what I wanted going on, you guys. That was terrible. I don't know what that is. That was horrible. Where is the original on that? Hold on. We're doing it live. No, I'm not really melting down. This is just kind of like my time now. I don't really care. If you guys are hanging out, I appreciate you guys hanging out, man. Let me see. What do we got in here? For there at 12. 10-5. Woo! Small water hitter. 10-5. Crushing it, dude. That's a nice fish, man. That is a nice fish. All right, I found it, you guys. Hold on. All right, you guys ready? Let's do this. Now that's YouTube, guys.
Dude.
It's not me.
Oh my God.
You guys see that?
Get my phone, dog. Whoa, go live.
You ready? Just get your whole arm down in there, son. You can get it out. Just get your whole arm down. There you go. Reach down in there now, boy. You can get it. All right, let's back up a frame. Let's back up just a frame. Oh my God. Do you guys see what I just... Did you guys see a little something like that earlier? Did you guys see a little something look just like that earlier? I mean, I thought that was kind of weird. Do you guys think that was odd?
Dude.
I thought that was a bit odd. Do you guys find that odd? Let's see it again. YouTube.
He is good size.
That is crazy cool.
He is good size.
Bud.
What a beautiful fish,
Get him
man.
on there. Come on there.
Hold on. Are you doing anything?
It's good. Go. Nice fish.
First cast.
That's right, guys. First cast. First cast, you guys. It was horrible. What are we, frozen up over here? Hold on. Did it freeze up again? Okay. All right, looks like something froze up. I don't know what froze up. Oh, that sucks, Casey. Yeah, man. Not good times. But see, here's what's interesting. Stream's healthy. Everything's good. There must be something going on with when I pull that too many screens. Something about when I pull too many screens, it does that. But it's not that it's pulling up the streams. It's just killing it. So, guys, it has been real. It has been fun. I will catch you guys on the next one. Until then, see ya.